You were supposed to send out an email, but you forgot to do so. You make excuses and ask the person to check his or her spam. Worse still, you explain that it may have just simply got lost in cyberspace. You are late for an appointment, but hold the traffic responsible rather than taking ownership for the fact that you may have left your home much later than you should have. You answer something which is irrelevant to the question being asked. When told that you were not listening, you again defend yourself and do not agree. Sounds familiar? Yes, in all of the above examples that I gave, it is our inability to accept that we may be wrong, that we are sorry, and that we should have apologized. In today's episode of How To, let's first understand why many of us find it so hard to apologize and say sorry, and how then to overcome that inability so that we build better relationships. Point 1. Freud, the great psychologist, contributed significantly by introducing the defense mechanism. The defense mechanism, in simple terms, is the mind's way of protecting the self, or what he called the ego. The ego is something we all run after. In layman's terms, it's called self-esteem or self-worth. His belief was that when our self-worth is threatened, we become defensive. Dr. Albert Ellis, my teacher, went a step further. He said we become defensive because we don't want to accept imperfection. Accepting the imperfection of ourselves makes the ego threatened, and then we escape into defensive mode. So, when you are unable to say sorry, it is actually you trying to protect your ego, albeit in psychological terms, a very fragile one. And your concept of self-worth, which you've been chasing, is the real culprit for you and your inability to accept mistakes. Now, moving on to the next. How do we accept mistakes, apologize, and are able to acknowledge that we do go wrong? Simple. But as I repeat, simple does not necessarily mean easy. Number 1, accept imperfection as the human condition. Yes, we are all born mistake makers. 2, strive for self-acceptance rather than self-worth or self-esteem. Yes, when I accept my imperfections, my mistake making, and I believe that I'm just a mistake making human, I'm far less defensive. 3, don't equate your selfhood with what you do. You are far more than your behavior and your actions. According to Ellis, and according to me as a therapist, if we can embrace imperfection, if we can strive for self-acceptance and get over that myth of self-esteem, and if we don't equate who we are with what we do, we will find ourselves being far easily apologetic, far more humble and sorry when we make mistakes, and actually build a healthier and happier relationship life for ourselves and for the people we love. If you like what you hear, please do hit the like button, please do share my video, and of course continue to write to me at varkha@varkhachulani.com. Till next week, it's goodbye and thank you.